health issues. And so I kind of depend on training in order to be functional, both physically and psychologically as well. If I stop training, basically my muscles becomes really stiff because of a specific gene they found in my genetic. I was born with club feet, so already not normal for ligaments and tendons. So they had to break both my legs in order to put them straight. I'd say around 14 years of age is where I started having issues related to muscular issues. Eventually said that I had a form of osteoarthritis. Well, first of all, it's extremely rare, juvenile arthritis. But he said, you know, we're seeing some damage towards your cartilage, your meniscus in the knee, and so it kind of affects the blood flow and circulation to my joints. So they're not completely or fully nourished. And the cartilage can't form properly. At 16 years old, I had the first surgery, which was to remove some cartilage debris in both knees. Turns out for me, training, exercising is not easy. But if I don't move all the time, if I don't exercise and keep the blood flowing, and I become really stiff to the point where I can't move. I can't even get up. The leg would just lock up, and I would just fall randomly, just face down, flat down. I would just mostly be seen as a normal person. So growing up and all my life, really, I was expected as much as anybody else. It was hard for me to find, I couldn't find a job just standing up like a cashier or something. That was not possible for me. I had some limitations, and they were not recognizable, and I couldn't get compensation for that. So I had to adapt and with those obstacles and still try to make a life. And with the stress of COVID, like everybody else, it was affecting me like twice as much. I wasn't functional like I used to be, and it was starting to affect me physically, mentally. Well, my bones deteriorates a lot quicker than most people. You become wiser because you're forced to adapt to the things being just harder, and you're forced to do it alone. Then you eat better, you exercise regularly, the thought process in the mind starts to take different shape. You adapt to a way of life without having any choice. You learn to depend only on yourself, which is a little bit sad, but at the same time makes anybody stronger, if you ask me. And then I would do everything alone, and then I quickly felt comfortable with that. Training became a way for me to just be able to live as normal as possible, like everybody else. I started to apply myself, so I kept going, and not only did I notice I was responding quite well to training, but my muscle in my legs were no longer locking. and I felt better. I could move. I never competed because I always felt like I was already competing every day. I can't really stop training. I mean, I said, what am I gonna do? So as COVID progressed, at some point I thought, you know what? Listen, I've been doing this for 20 years. I'm not gonna stop. I need this. And 6 months later, I have a pretty full gym. And COVID is still going. I'm back to me, you know? Building a gym was half trial and error, half experience. I kind of built and rebuilt until it was completely fluid, having no experience doing any of those things, really. I mean, my father was a carpenter, and what I did is just the best I could with what I picked up watching him do at some point. And then everybody else that don't know me, it's like, oh, I wish I had your genetic, man. I wish I had your body. No, you don't. You don't know what I've been through. Okay, you don't know that this, for me, it's not a choice. It's kind of a two-sided cursed sword. You know, there's that side where I don't feel like training today, but then again, I wake up, I still do it, and it gives me the bonus of the other side of the sword, which is the results. And basically my cells don't form properly, and they kind of age quicker than most people. Skin cells, muscle cells, ligaments, everything, bone-wise, which explains all the surgeries so far. I try to do it as good as I can and try to get that other side of the sword as much as I can in order to keep motivated. Putting on weight at some point kind of became counterproductive for me, because if I put on too much, then my body struggles functional wise. It becomes a little too hard for my organs, my heart, my gut becomes stressed easily, so it doesn't absorb well. Then vision-wise, my vision becomes blur, and again, things that people don't know. So I'm trying to keep, here I am, trying to keep a good balance of being functional, and every day in my spare time, I'm online, I'm reading on how to better absorb nutrients. Again, no choice. I'm 46 years old. I've been doing this for 30 years, and what I can accomplish just by myself. Nobody taught me anything. I had to learn everything by myself all the time, and that's what I'm kind of going for. If I can do this with all of the health issues that I have, that I can maintain what I have. If I can do this, you can do this. I'm here and I want to show that it's not just for few people. If you're willing to give half an hour to an hour, 5 times a week, you can function better. Let's say you're diabetic. There's a way for you to become healthier. You will require less insulin. This is a way of life. It's never too late. You can start something at any age. What you can do and what you should do can differentiate a little bit. But even my 6-year-old daughter here, I already started in shaping to a point where when she becomes older, she can do those exercises and, she can be healthier. But same goes for people that are 50, 60, 70. So are you gonna train the same way as a 25-year-old? No, it's certainly not when you're gonna start. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't exercise. There is something for every age, and I intend to do this until I die, really. There's no other way. For me, it's an obligation, an automatic result of what I was forced to do, you know. And if you're lucky, things are gonna go exactly like they should, but they rarely do. And so life kind of shapes society nowadays in order to just, for every simple things, it's a process. Your body is the only thing that will follow you the rest of your life. There's nothing else. There's no guarantee for anything else at all. Your mind, but then again, that's part of your body. If you eat better, you exercise regularly, your mind should improve just as much as your body composition, shouldn't it? This is an investment. Everybody should invest. And people that usually do the opposite would eventually maybe have to take the time to be healed, to suffer, to take care of themselves because they have to, because they didn't throughout their lives. I had to learn that at a very young age.